Hello friends, I am Raptor, and I love mystery. In fact, it is one of my favorite genres of storytelling. I like to use my big boy brain to think about the actual story that I am seeing, reading, whatnot. Mysteries are just a fun time. So naturally, Sherlock Holmes as a character was one of my favorites. I love Sherlock Holmes stories. You have your smart guy solving the mystery with his trusty sidekick, John Watson, going around London, being British, solving mysteries. Such a fun time. So, of course, when Prime Video came out with a trailer for Young Sherlock, I knew I had to watch it. And I did. Here are my initial thoughts on the show. Young Sherlock. I liked it. I did not expect to like it. Well, that's an understatement. I expected to enjoy it, but I did not expect the writing to be actually good. But it was actually good. The characters were actually good. They were interesting. When I had seen the trailer, I had thought, oh, it's just gonna be Mystery of the Week, where Sherlock goes to Oxford, and then a bunch of random mysteries start happening. People start dying, things going missing, and Sherlock has to step up and solve all the mysteries with his newfound buddy, Moriarty. And then at the end, it would be revealed, oh my goodness, it was Moriarty the whole time! And then Sherlock would look at Moriarty and be like, Moriarty, how could you do this? How could you betray me and do all the evil things that you did? And Moriarty would look at Sherlock and be like, hee hee. I did it because I am evil and devious. And you are a fool for not also being evil and devious. So of course I betrayed you. And Sherlock would be heartbroken and sad. And then at the end, Watson would show up. And then set up for the classic Sherlock Holmes mysteries and stuff. And that would be it. I thought it would just be one season, one and done. None of that happened. I could not have expected any of that plot. It was so out there. It was a fun plot too. I had fun with it. The characters were actually well written. They were interesting. I wasn't expecting that either. But they were good. And the mystery was actually well thought out and structurally sound with a lot of setup and so good. I actually really liked the mystery. Yeah. The plot / premise of Young Sherlock. Spoiler warning, there will be spoilers. Sherlock is a custodian at Oxford University, and while he's there, he meets Moriarty, and through shenanigans and whatnot, Sherlock gets framed for murder. Oh my goodness. And he and Moriarty have to go and prove his innocence. That is the first half of the show. The second half is finding out that his dad is evil, and then uncovering his dad's evil plans. And this ties in with the mystery of Sherlock getting framed for murder. Gasp. Shock. So yeah, there's no way you could have guessed how this mystery was gonna go, what direction the writers were going with this. So I classify this as a second level mystery. Now, I've seen many a mystery in my time, and through my own viewing, I came up with this system for mysteries. There's 3 types of mysteries that I can classify. There is the first level mystery, where all the clues are kind of given to the audience right from the get-go. So like think like Agatha Christie type murder where everybody is in one place. You have all of the suspects and everything, and the setting, the viewer or audience, they can kind of figure out this mystery on their own if they're like really paying attention, right? Then there is the second level mystery where not all of the clues are given and you kind of follow along the characters as they solve the mystery, and you're figuring things out with the characters, but you couldn't solve it on your own from the beginning. And then there's the third level mystery, which is like kind of like Batman type mystery, where you don't know everything about Gotham, but Batman knows everything about Gotham, and so he solves mysteries super fast and you have no idea how he's doing it. So the first level mystery is like the most detailed, the most like engaged in the audience. Second level is kind of a mix between first and third, where like you don't fully understand what's happening, but you also can follow along and figure things out with the characters. And then third level mystery, you don't even know. Like the mystery isn't even the point of the mystery. It's just showing off how smart the characters are, which is fine in some cases, like Batman. So yes, Young Sherlock is a second level mystery, which I think definitely suits the show. It's definitely a character-driven show, so a mystery that isn't spelled out for you in the beginning makes it more interesting for the audience, because when you have a character and you're learning about the character, you don't want to know everything about this character right from the get-go. You want to kind of slowly learn these things about the character. So having a character-driven mystery that involves like your main character's past and solving the secrets of his past definitely is good for a second level mystery. The first half of the show was definitely very classic Sherlock Holmes. Like it felt, just fun, right? Moriarty and Sherlock are running around trying to clear Sherlock's name, show that he didn't kill the guy. They're in disguises. They have this rivalry with Assassin Girl. And nothing's like super personal yet. It's just super classic Sherlock Holmes. But then the second half is when you get the character mystery introduced. And all of that character mystery stuff was set up in the first half. So you have the first half that the main focus is on this, like, clearing Sherlock's name plot. But then, like, in the background, you have these questions about the mom. You have questions about what's going on with the dad. Why is he so shady? Right? This is all set up for part 2. And then when the second half comes along, you start getting answers to Sherlock's past. And then you see how the plot from part 1 is tied into Sherlock's past. And it kind of flows very nicely. There's definitely a tone shift when it goes into part 2. Where in part 1, it's fun. Sherlock Holmes fun times. But then you kind of like get the sense in the background that there's going to be a tone shift. So when there is a tone shift, it's satisfying. You were kind of expecting it, like subconsciously. And so you get this tone shift with more personal stuff. And it's not like super abrupt. On the topic of that tone shift, the twists were really good too. I enjoyed all the twists. Like finding out that his dad was evil. That was a good twist because, like I said, part 1, you have all this setup. So in part 1, you have the flashbacks where you see the dad and he sends the mom away into the insane asylum. He's kind of a jerk to Sherlock. He isn't that great. Like, you kind of get the sense that there's something up with him. And then when it's revealed that he's evil, like, subconsciously you hadn't thought to yourself, oh, the dad is going to be evil. He's going to be behind all of this. Like, you are not given enough clues to deduce that. But when it's revealed that he's evil, you feel satisfied. And you're like, oh, that makes sense. he's super shady. Of course he would be evil. So it's a good twist. Along with the sister too, when you reveal who the sister is. You have this girl in the background of part 1 who's like weirdly involved, and subconsciously you're kind of like, why is this girl so involved? She's kind of random. What is she doing? What's her whole deal? And then she kind of like drops out of the story, and you kind of forget about her. But then in part 2, when she's revealed to be the sister, you're like, oh, of course she's the sister. That makes sense. That's good. And again, a satisfying twist. Something that was set up. So instead of some random girl that's the sister, you have this twist of, oh, it was this other character who was kind of in the sidelines the whole time. And it makes it more fun. So yeah, overall, the plot was interesting. And the mystery was the correct mystery for what they were going for. The character arcs are good. And shoot, I forgot the word. The twist. The twists were something that felt satisfying. Let's start with our main man, the main attraction, Sherlock Holmes, or more commonly known as Sherlock Holmes. I don't know why I said Sherlock I don't know where that came from. Anyways, this version of Sherlock is definitely different from most interpretations of the character. Like, don't get me wrong, he still has like that classic essence of Sherlock, which is an insane amount of pride at thinking that he's the smartest person out there just because he is. What sets this version of Sherlock apart from most other interpretations is what drives him. Sherlock is driven by his emotions. Most versions of him are driven by logic. They just have to solve the mystery because it's fun. They like using their logical reasoning. But this version of Sherlock, he doesn't do things to show off how smart he is. I mean, he does, because he's prideful Sherlock Holmes. But the main driving point of the entire show is Sherlock's emotions. He solves the murder of the professor because he got blamed for the murder of the professor, and he's like, well, that sucks. I don't want to go to jail again. I'm gonna freaking solve this murder. And then he solves what's going on with his sister because it's his sister. There isn't an outside force being like, you should do this. And he's like, oh, that's right. I'm gonna do it because I'm super smart and I'm Sherlock Holmes. No, he's doing it because it's very personally motivated. He's also just an expressive and emotional guy. He outwardly expresses his emotions and says how he feels, which is very rare for Sherlock Holmes to do. Usually Sherlock is emotionally suppressed and cannot say his true feelings because he's so smart, and smart people don't do that. Don't get me wrong, I love that characterization of Sherlock. But it is nice to see a Sherlock who just does what he feels like doing. I don't know, I really like this version of him where he's like this super smart intellectual guy, right? He can memorize things. He notices like small details, solves mysteries, all this sort of stuff. But he is so impulsive, and he like has all the information he needs, but he doesn't use it very well. And he just rushes into situations, and he lets his emotions override his logic. Like when he learns that his dad is evil, and he like figures out all the stuff about the dad. His emotion, like logically, he's like, oh, dad can't be evil. Or no, logically he sees all the information, and logically the dad is evil. But his emotions are like, no, this is my dad. He can't be evil. So he rejects that idea. He rejects what his logic is telling him. And he goes off of his impulse, and he gets mad at Moriarty for saying something that that he doesn't want to hear, and he pushes Moriarty away because he just can't believe the logic of it, and he doesn't want to. I think it's a very interesting version of Sherlock. I also appreciate that the writers didn't feel the need to constantly tell us how smart he is. Like, we get to witness it ourselves, we get to see him solving stuff. We don't need other characters telling us how smart Sherlock is. We can see with our eyes that he is smart. I like that. I like how the writers treated Sherlock and his intelligence. It's not the point of the show. The point of the show is the characters and the development and the mystery. It is not the fact that Sherlock is smart. And that's nice. I really appreciated that. James Moriarty. I think he is a very good concept as a character. He's just as smart as Sherlock, right? So it's always fun to see the two of them interact, but James Moriarty has more questionable motives, doing evil deeds. And it's always fun to see two people with the same intellect fighting each other. It's fun. I like it. I really like how this version of Moriarty got a lot more fleshing out, characterization. We actually kind of got to see where his motivations are, which is actually pretty fun. I really like how they set up his motivations, because they kind of set him up to be someone who could be either good or bad, right? In the beginning and throughout season 1, he's definitely a quote-unquote good character. He doesn't do anything evil. You can definitely see that he kind of doesn't really care about the people around him. He seems to only be hanging around Sherlock because, well, first of all, when you first meet Sherlock, he's like, oh, Sherlock is kind of fun. He's kind of interesting. I'm gonna hang around this kid. And then when his scholarship is on the line, he hangs around Sherlock so that they can figure out what happened with the mystery going on, so that they can prove their innocence, and Moriarty can get his, what is the word? Scholarship. I just said it 2 seconds ago. So he can get his scholarship back, which doesn't work. So when he loses his scholarship, he kind of doesn't really have anything to live for, or no motivations really. So at that point, he hangs around Sherlock because he doesn't really have anything else to do. He doesn't really have any stakes in the mystery. He's just there for the ride. He doesn't really get emotional like Sherlock. Emotional. He doesn't really get emotional like Sherlock does throughout the course of events that are going on. Yeah, so up to the point before Moriarty meets Sherlock's evil dad, he's just there for the ride. He's just chilling. He's just hanging out with Sherlock, right? He's solving this mystery with them. And then when he actually meets the dad, well, he actually met the dad before. When he sees what the evil dad is doing, what the dad's plan is, that's when he sees what it kind of, like, how the evil dad's lifestyle might work out for him. And he's kind of considering it. And then he talks about it with Beatrice, and he's like, hey, you know, your dad, he kind of knows what's up. And she's like, oh yeah. And they kind of feed off of each other's evilness, I suppose. But yeah, that is when he kind of gets his motivation. And when this motivation opposes Sherlock's motivation, that's probably when they're going to start switching more into rivals over friends, which I think is a very good way to do it, because we all know that they're going to be rivals, right? But I really like this idea that it's not like something that happened between them, right? It's not like, oh, Sherlock offended Moriarty and he's never going to forgive him. It's not like that kind of rivalry. It's like they just have different opposing motivations and ideas, and they just naturally become rivals because of that. But also they have fun being rivals because of how smart they are. I'm really excited to see this dynamic further. Yeah, I definitely like the end scene where Sherlock and Moriarty are talking, and Moriarty's like considering the evil dad's plan, but he kind of like passes it as a joke, but Sherlock knows that it's not a joke, and Moriarty knows that Sherlock knows that it's not, so they're like intentionally lying to each other because they know that the other person knows that they're lying. And then Sherlock like discreetly shows him the key, but not discreetly. And they both, like at that point, that's when they're playing games with each other and like bouncing off each other's like braininess. And that's when they're gonna become like rivals. But yeah. Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's older brother, who is successful and cool and also rich. He is usually pretty hit or miss as a character. Most versions of Mycroft will put their job first over Sherlock, and Sherlock is kind of an afterthought for them. But this version of Mycroft definitely puts his family over everything, and he defends his family in front of the people that will take his job away, and he's not afraid to do what he thinks is right, which I think is very, very good characterization for Mycroft. He obviously does care about his career, because he tries very hard to keep his career, and he's very good at his job, and he likes his job. However, when plot stuff starts happening, and Sherlock gets accused of murder, Mycroft does not hesitate to stand up for Sherlock and say, no, my brother didn't kill that guy. And the more he defends Sherlock, the more he gets demoted. But despite being continually demoted to a smaller and smaller rank, he does not stop standing up for Sherlock or his family. Even when it is offered to him that he could get his job back if he sells his family out and helps the dad sell like war weapons gas to the government, he still chooses his family over his job. He very outwardly cares about his family too. He's just a very good person. He's kind of, I don't know, he's very fun. He's, what was the word? I was trying to think of him. He's kind of dorky, you know? He's kind of dorky and very genuine, has a lot of heart. Yeah. The mom. She was fun. She existed. She was a mom. Also not crazy, apparently. I don't know what else to say about her. Yeah. Okay, the dad, whose name I can't remember, so I just keep calling him the dad, the evil dad. He was evil. I didn't love him as a villain, but I also didn't hate him as a villain. He was alright. He served his purpose for the story. I think the one thing that the writers could have done better with him is that everybody's just okay with killing him at the end, which kind of feels like a bit much. these people grew up with him. He's their dad, and they're just like, yeah, we can kill him now. That felt weird. But other than that, he was alright. I think he was a good twist villain. I mean, personality-wise, he had an evil personality. He was manipulative. That was his one personality trait, I think, was that he was manipulative. But I thought it was interesting how he manipulated people in different ways. Like for Beatrice, he manipulated her by giving her attention and praising her and being like, oh my goodness, you can be my heir, and like promising her all these things, and she's like, oh boy, that's what I want. I'll totally kill a bunch of people just for that. And he's like, great, go kill people for me. She didn't kill anyone for him. I don't know why I said that. Maybe she did. She probably did, actually. But then with Sherlock, he manipulates him by like gaslighting him and making him question things that he already knows, because Sherlock is so sure of his own knowledge. But then when his dad comes, somebody he trusts, and then his dad is like, oh, maybe you're wrong. And you didn't see that. And he like gaslights him, and Sherlock's like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I thought that was interesting. He did things differently for different people. But then his downfall at the end was when he tried manipulating Beatrice like Sherlock, where he tries gaslighting her. And she's like, what are you doing? Why would I believe that? Like, she doesn't take any of it, but then he tries manipulating Sherlock like he would Beatrice, where he's like, oh, you can be my heir. You could be so cool. And he's like, why? No, that's stupid. And then when he, like, kind of confuses them together, that's when they're like, yeah, let's just kill him now. And then they just kill him. Yeah. He's there. That's what he does. Xuan, or I guess her name was Xiao Wei. And despite me pronouncing that name wrong, probably, she was my favorite character. Not because she had, like, the most amazing personality or complex arc or anything like that. I'm just incredibly biased towards Asian assassin ninja princess spies. So, anytime I see one of those characters, they will be my favorite automatically. I liked all the scenes she was in. She was fun. I liked her doing assassin stuff because, again, I'm biased towards assassins. There isn't a reason for that either. It's just a vibe, I guess. Yeah, I got mad respect for her because she had one goal in mind, which was killing that one professor guy, or killing all those professor guys. And you know what? She went for it. She did the deed. She blew up a thing. And she killed all the people she wanted to kill. So good for her. The sister, Beatrice, she was an interesting character. I wasn't expecting her to be an interesting character. When they first introduced the mystery about her death, I thought, oh, she's gonna be boring. I don't really care. But no, she was a good character. I like that she wasn't manipulated into being evil. Because usually, that's kind of how these things go, right? The character is taken away from their family, and then an evil person like manipulates them, and they don't really know what's right or wrong, and they think they're doing the right thing, but secretly it's actually not the right thing, and it's actually evil. And then the other characters come in and they're like, no, you don't understand, you're being manipulated. And they're like, no, I'm not being manipulated. And then the other characters like show them how evil the person is for the person that manipulated them, and how they're evil. And then the character that was manipulated, they're like, oh my goodness, you're totally right. And then they go join the good guys, right? That's how these things go. That's not how this went. And I really liked that. Because Beatrice knew that the dad was evil. She figured out on her own that the dad was evil. And she came and she's like, I want to help you be evil. I want to do evil things with you, Papa. let me be evil with you. And he's like, oh, neat. Well, let's do evil things then. And then when the classic thing happened where the other characters come in and they're like, no, he's manipulating you. She's like, yeah, I know, but also, like, he's not, like, I'm evil. He's evil. We're both evil, so I'm not going with you. Okay, things I didn't like. Which there are things that I didn't like. The dramatic music sometimes is a bit much. I don't know how to explain it, but it was a bit much for me. Also, this is my biggest complaint. The scene where Sherlock gets shot. That was ridiculous. The scene itself is fine. Like, it's properly dramatic. Sherlock runs in impulsively, and then like Shuan like shoots him, and they're like, oh my goodness, and Sherlock is like dying, and Moriarty's all like, oh my goodness, Sherlock, what do we do? And then the mom and Mycroft run in, and they're like, no, Sherlock, properly dramatic, very good. The problem is that it served no thematic or character or driven purpose. It just happened. Like, why did he get shot? What's the point? It didn't teach him a lesson. He learned nothing from getting shot. It didn't teach the dad a lesson. He didn't feel guilty about Sherlock getting shot. Shuan didn't feel guilty about it. The only thing that happened out of Sherlock getting shot was Moriarty was running after the guy, and then he killed a guy during that, and then he found out that, oh, he likes killing people. Which you could have done without Sherlock getting shot. Like, Moriarty could have been running after this guy for a different reason, and then shot another person, and then found out that he liked killing people. Like, there's no reason Sherlock should have gotten shot for that to happen. And then Sherlock is just fine the next day? Like, that's a gut wound. That kills people. It takes like a year to recover from that. He can't, and he's fine. That's not how that works. Like, what was the point? Why all this drama and worry about Sherlock when nothing happened? He just walks around the next day. Like, why? If he had been shot, and then, like, the next day he's out, and then a month later he starts walking again. Except he wouldn't be walking. He would be walking in like maybe 3 months. Okay, not the next day. He shouldn't be walking the next day. If you want a dramatic scene where your character gets hurt or something, do something that it doesn't take a year to recover from. Like, he should be dead. He shouldn't have recovered at all. Like, did you see where he got shot? That's a fatal wound. He can't. Anyways, yeah, that was a problem I had with it. There's no point in him getting shot. It doesn't serve any purpose. None at all. And it was just unrealistic. And it lies to you because you're like, oh, it's so dramatic. And then the dramatic scene feels pointless because he just comes back. And he's fine. And he has like no lasting effects from this. Yeah, that was my issue with the show. Anyways, yeah, I guess in conclusion, to conclude my thoughts, I liked the show overall. I liked the characters. I liked the plot. I thought the twists were good. I liked the mystery. But I did not like the thing where Sherlock got shot. I thought that was stupid. Yeah. Okay, bye.